Okay, in this very final part of this project, what I'm gonna guide you through is we're gonna go back to the controller node. And when we get back to the controller node, what we need to do is we're gonna go back to the controller node, clear your screen, and we will configure. There are two ways here to do it. On your document, you don't need to do step number 3 to create, which is to set up, to define your website content using an HTML file. And you may probably have additional files for that, like CSS and stuff like that, but you don't need to look at the style or even look at the other functionalities of your website. But this is a very simple website. And what we want to do is since we already have the script, we will skip step 3 and then go to step number 4 here. I'm going to show it to you. So we're going to come here, we configure our Ansible inventory, and then I'll guide you through on how you can accomplish that. All right. So let's go to, we are on our controller, and the two ways that you can do this. You can either configure this file here. You can configure this file here, Ansible, because every time you install Ansible, there are specific, I'll show you something here. You remember in one of our previous videos, we installed Ansible, right, on the controller. So if you ls, by default, Ansible comes with these things here. So you have the Ansible config file, and also, let me install quickly here the tree command. I'm gonna install it quickly here so that we can see, sorry, that was the typo. So that we can see the kind of like the structure or hierarchy of our file structure here. So if you do the tree command, so this is what you get. So you're gonna get this here. And now if you do the tree roles here, and we don't have anything here. So we don't have any role set up. With Ansible, you can set up also roles. You can also set up, but the key component we use in Ansible are playbooks. All right, and then you have the host here. So you can configure that file. Like you can sudo etc Ansible. You go back there. You can configure this file here. Okay, so missing something here. We need to say what we need to do with that file, right? So when you can configure this file, and what you can do is just to add what you need to add here. Like it could be like the web servers, and then you input the IP addresses here. So you can do the same like for using our systems. But if you need something a little bit more dynamic, this is where you create just an inventory. You create an inventory file. What you need to do, you're gonna either select, correct this here. So everything is in the Ansible place here. So if you ls, so you have this file here, you have the host, and then you have the roles, and you can either configure the hosts, or you can create an inventory file. The best practice is just to create an inventory file. And what I've done here, let me take you first here. If you go to the README file here on GitHub, we've covered steps 1, 2, and 3. That's to configure our web application content here. So you go to step 4. Step 4, you have option 1. You just configure this file here, and then you add these lines like for each node that you want to control. But the better option is this one here. So what we do, we create an inventory file, and then we place it in this place here. And that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna take this information here under step number 4. So we're gonna create this file here. So what I would do, you're gonna use the IP address of the worker node number 1, worker node number 2, all the systems that you want to manage. You're gonna put them here using this script, okay? So I'll go ahead and do it. I'll pause the video and then come back when it's done. All right, so I'll see you. Okay, so this is what I've done. So I have created this file here, the inventory YAML file, and then I have put it in this location. This is our worker node number 1. This is our worker node number 2, and make sure that you have the private key path. The path to the private key should be correct here, and you have the Ansible user, and you also have Ansible users. So for every single system, make sure that you get the correct, you have the correct names, the correct information about every system that you want to manage. So what I'm gonna do now is Control X, Y to save it, and then after you save it, what you can do is to run the test. So it's gonna be Ansible-Y, and then I'll do this, and then the inventory file -m. I'm gonna ping all. So I'm testing the connection from the controller to the systems that I want to manage. So if you get a display like this one saying Pong, and you make sure that this is the node and this is the other node that we want to manage, and if you see something like this, then you have successfully configured your controller and the systems that you want to manage successfully. So we're gonna get rid of that, and now what we need to do is to make sure that we have our systems, our playbooks on the controller, meaning that you go here. So you see, you're gonna need the deploy website playbook, and on the deploy website playbook, that's where you have the information of what you want to do, and this is what we want to do. This is the name of the file, the playbook. We're gonna use host here. We're gonna say all, meaning that whatever host we may have, because you may have different hosts on your playbook. So we're gonna say all and define the state in which we want all of our systems to be in. So we're gonna say become yes, and they become what. So these are the tasks that will define the state in which we want all of our systems that we manage to be in. So first, we're gonna make sure that we have Python. So we're gonna make sure that we have Python. And then Python, because we have a Debian-based system like Ubuntu. Here we have Red Hat-based system, the Amazon Linux. So we're gonna keep that also in mind here. And the next task is to install Nginx, which is a web application. We're gonna install it. We'll start and enable Nginx. Then we copy our website files. And in our case, we're gonna copy the file from the web directory, meaning that on the controller, we're gonna need to have the web app directory. And then this is where we will have our HTML index file there. And we'll do all of these things here. We're gonna change the permissions, adjust the permissions here. And when that's done, we should be able to go to our individual systems that we manage and access the web application over the browser, over the internet on the browser. Okay, so that's the plan. That's what we're gonna do here. So let's go to the controller. On the controller, we have nothing here, right? So we're gonna create our web app. And we move into our web app, or we just say sudo nano. We're going to just say nano, and it should be okay. So we're going to go into the web app, and we'll create our index HTML. Then we're going to use the content from our here. So deploy. What I do, I just copy. This is the same content I just showed you. I'll just copy that and come back here. Then I'll just paste it. So it's paste, Control X, Y, and then that's done. And now if we do this, we have our web app directory. We have our index here. Okay. And the next thing that we're going to need to do is to have our playbook installed here. So it's going to be deploy, whatever name that you want to give it here, YAML. And we do the same thing again. I should have kept the other thing here, but showing it the second time, I mean, it helps you remember stuff. Primary side, and this is the deploy. No, we're going to need this one here, the deploy. I think we did it. Hold on. What did I do here? Okay, so I need to remember. Okay, so we copied the wrong stuff. So it's going to be, we're going to have to redo this. Sorry about that. So let's just create this one here, and then we paste that content. This is what the content that we need for this one here. Control X, Shift Y. And now let's go back to our website, the content for the website. So it's going to be this command here. And we're going to delete everything here. Control K will delete every line after line because we're using nano. And then we go back to the web app here, index. This is our HTML script here. And it's going to create a form that will allow users to subscribe or enroll into our courses at T2S. And then I just changed this to use T2S so that you don't, I mean, you use it for your clients, but you don't want to display your clients' details here. So this is what it's going to do. I'll select everything, copy, and then go back to my file here, Command V, and paste it. Control X and Shift Y to save it. So that is saved. So if you do 3 here, we have 2 files here, 3 files. We have one, we have this directory, then we have the index file. So now that we are done with that, what we need to do to complete our project is to execute. We're going to have to execute now our Ansible playbook. We have tested the connection to from the controller node to the systems that we want to manage, but now we need to go and apply our configuration files here. So it's going to be Ansible playbook command that we use -I, and then you need to find the inventory file here. This is it, and then we need to use our playbook that we've just created and press enter. So you're going to see something like this, meaning that everything is going okay. And it's skipping installing Python here. The reason is because Python is already installed. Remember at the beginning of this project, I believe in video, that was probably part 2, we did install that. So the yellow means that it's working on that. And then it says okay, okay. So everything you see here, unreachable, equal to 0, meaning that everything is okay. So okay 6, that's the number of tasks, and you should get this, meaning that everything is working okay. So now, what we could do is to go to the website. Let's go to the website, and using the public IP addresses of our instances here. So you're gonna go to the node here. Let's start with the Ubuntu node. This is a public IP address. You need to use HTTP and then paste the address there. Press enter. This is the Ubuntu. So what you see here, it's going to be a form. And that's the HTML file, the form, which allows our students to enter a name here. I'm going to say like here, you're going to say like Chico, and then the phone number. You can enter the phone number there. Any number there, okay? So it's assumed that this is a phone number, and then you can enter an email address here, and then here you have the drop down to select DevOps or cloud. So this is how much you can do and how far you can go with this, because you can go beyond this, meaning that you connect this form to a storage resource, meaning that every time somebody enrolls into our program, we can keep the information. So you need to connect this like to a storage service on AWS or Microsoft Azure or whatever. Okay, so this could be an S3 bucket or DynamoDB and then so on. But what I wanted to do is to just show you what you can do using Ansible to manage a list of systems. And let's go back here. We check on the other node here. This is the other one. So it's gonna also show the same form here. That's the Amazon Linux. So it's gonna show the same thing here, enroll into our program. See that? But you see ending in 145, and this one is ending in 27. Two different systems, but showing the same thing. And then this pretty much conclude this kind of like a 3-part series on how you can automate the configuration management of systems using Ansible. And what we've done it on AWS, and hopefully in the near future I'll show to you how you can do the same thing on Microsoft Azure as well as Google. So thank you so much for watching. And again, my name is Emmanuel. I'm the CEO and founder of Transform to Succeed. And also I'm the host of the Cloud Ops Chronicles with the Emmanuel Show on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Thanks for watching. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.